Hello everyone, this is Franchesca, Nicole, Estacio, and welcome to our virtual TED Talk. And so for today, we will be discussing about how multilateral diplomacy has been useful during and after Cold War. So the open but limited rivalry that developed after World War II between the United States and the Soviet Union, as well as their respective allies, was known as the Cold War. The Cold War was fought primarily on diplomatic, economic, and propaganda fronts, with only limited use of weapons. The term was invented by the English author George Orwell in a 1945 article to describe what he predicted would be a nuclear standoff between two or three monstrous superstates, each possessed of a weapon capable of wiping out millions of people in a few seconds. It was first used in the United States by Bernard Baruch, an American financier and presidential advisor, in a speech at the State House in Columbia, South Carolina. Multilateral diplomacy is the administration of international relations through negotiations between three or more governments via diplomatic or governmental officials, but it can be also conducted by non-state entities. Multilateral negotiation is distinguished by the presence of several parties, multiple issues, and multiple roles, as well as multiple values. The level of intricacy as well as the level of expertise required to manage that complexity is significantly larger than in bilateral diplomacy. It might be founded on multilateralism or have multilateralism as an objective, but can also be promoted by someone who does not believe in, multilateralism. Multilateralism is characterized as global government for the many, and one of its guiding principles is opposition to bilateral discriminatory systems. Bilateral diplomacy was the subject of traditional diplomatic education. However, the expansion of international institutions in the 20th century heightened attention in multilateral diplomacy, which has evolved since its inception in 1648. The role of non-state actors and new forms of diplomacy affected by globalization and information digitalization have received more attention. Multilateral diplomacy presents significant challenges in the 20th century, necessitating change of international organizations and global government. So post-Cold War paved the way in many aspects. One, a shift toward more openness, non-discrimination in treatment, and a broader range of possibilities to realize mutual gains. It does not entail giving international bodies broad authority. The post-1945 version was more realistic. That is, while its transformational ambitions were not abandoned, they were influenced by a better understanding of the reality of current world politics, and also be more, successful. The eventual shape and fate of this agenda's emergence after the Cold War remains to be seen. At the very same time,